Yes, good morning to all my fellow Americans. Here once again, I'm requesting the freedom of Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia and all the rest of the political prisoners in Cuba. This man is innocent and he was kidnapped and is being tortured in the hellish prisons of Cuba. I'm including also all the prisoners, political prisoners of Venezuela, Nicaragua, North Korea, China, plus a new one, all those Christians that are being imprisoned in the Islamic hellish belief that they are unbelievers and they are being imprisoned even though they're innocent just for practicing their faith. So I'm requesting the freedom of all Christians in these Islamic states, which almost can include Great Britain, Germany, Sweden. They have become so supportive of these this criminal organization, that they're willing to put their own people in prison just for being Christians. So now I want to request that too. I almost forgot a long time, but now I came up with the idea, hey, why don't request the freedom of all Christian prisoners and stop the torture and murder of Christians, including the attack on Israel. These people are trying to annihilate Israel. Israel is just like a grain of rice compared to all the Islamic world in the Middle East. You look at Israel, it's like putting a baby next to Goliath. It's incredible. They want to annihilate it. They want to conquer that one too. Not only that, the United States too, if we let them, if we're that stupid. Well, let me go with the news. I hope the day is clear and the signal doesn't go off on me, because there's a lot of news. I'm just hoping the day is quite a bit nice and God helps me to get through this day so everybody can be informed on what's happening. Let's go with the Islamic world like always. Get rid of this one here. Okay. I'm going to show you a video here from, I forget the name of the title, the Glasov Gang. This is a conservative news denouncing what's happening in the Christian and the Islamic world. Here, let's go here, this way. Wait a minute, I hope the let me see if the okay. Let me check something out here because I think the voice is not can you see what's happening here? I don't hear it. Okay.
Mutilation is anti-transgender.
This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazoff.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure to order Jamie Glazoff's new critically acclaimed jihadist, How He Is Charming, Seducing, and Devouring Us. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Good evening. Welcome to the Jamie Glazoff Moment. Tonight, trans activists say that protecting girls from mutilation is anti-transgender. My friends, the left's vicious war continues on women and little girls. Tonight's Jamie Glazoff Moment is credited to Penny Starr, who wrote an article at Breitbart recently titled "Activists Bill to Protect Minors from FGM is Anti-Transgender." So credit goes to Penny Starr. Fantastic reporting at Breitbart. My friends, this narrative continues of how evil the left is and how much the left actually hates women and how much it wants to inflict violence on them. It's always succeeding in doing so. There is a recent bill in Wyoming legislation that's attempting to criminalize female genital mutilation. And female genital mutilation, excuse me for saying such a thing in today's world, but female genital mutilation is perpetrated against girls, mostly Muslim girls. And that's what the Glazov gang, for instance, has been attempting to do for years, is trying to protect the victims of FGM, especially Muslim girls. We're not saying we're not trying to protect all girls from FGM. We're just saying because it's mostly Muslim girls in terms of statistics and percentages, they are the greatest victims of this. And very interestingly enough, we're always called Islamophobic and we're accused of hating Muslims, and yet we are consistently trying to protect Muslim people from Sharia law, and that includes, of course, protecting Muslim girls from Sharia law. Now, this is great legislation in Wyoming. It has bipartisan support. Both Republicans and Democrats in the state are backing HB 0127, which classifies FGM, among other things, as aggravated assault and battery. It mandates female genital mutilation to be reported as child abuse. It provides an avenue for victims to recover damages, etc., etc. So fantastic stuff. This is very good. Very interesting, but totally expected. We've done many shows on this. Just Google Glazov gang, FGM, and you will see that the left is always trying to stop this. It's trying to stop efforts to protect girls from female genital mutilation. Isn't that interesting? You know, the left, is supposedly for women's rights, but it's trying to stop protecting Muslim girls from female genital mutilation and non-Muslim girls from female genital mutilation. Now, this bill is being attacked by transgender activists who allege that the bill discriminates against those who might want surgery to alter their biological sex. So you have to kind of... In comes this individual called Tara Meir. She is the policy director of the Wyoming Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault. And she has attacked the legislation as having the potential to place, quote, draconian limits on transgender people. Democratic Representative Sarah Burlingame protested the language of a sex reassignment clause in the proposed bill, saying that it will stop sex assignment in its tracks. What is going on here? See, this is such a dystopian world, a Kafkaesque world, surreal, a bizarre world we have entered. It's hard to make sense out of any of this. I will let you do the investigating and to look into this, but I will crystallize the main issue here. We're having a hard time understanding it because I couldn't figure it out at first either. The debate over the bill on social media crystallizes what this is all about. There were tweets, for instance, about Renee Bergstrom, who suffered FGM as a child. Now, tweets from many trans activists claim that Bergstrom's use of the expression female genital mutilation is transgender exclusionary language. That's because the claim that they also have a vagina. And so it is, quote, transgender exclusionary language to talk about and to be against female genital mutilation because, again, not all women with vaginas are women and not all women have vaginas. How do we make sense of all this? I'm going to... For instance, a woman, Jana Cornell, for instance, this was on social media, was told by Canadian Canadian politician Morgan Ogre that the practice of FGM does not target females because, quote, nobody knows your sex except how you express it as gender. Let me try to crystallize this because what's happening here is that the trans ideological movement is in the way of protecting girls, especially Muslim girls, from FGM. And let me just say here that it is within, it may be practiced, and it is practiced among other cultures, etc., but it's much easier to stamp this barbaric practice out. There's no theological basis for it. The problem is that in Islam, it is mandated and sanctioned by the Islamic texts themselves. This is the problem. So now here's the key. The transgender ideological movement is in the way of protecting girls from female genital mutilation, because overall, if we're just going to synthesize this with one idea, with one fact, it doesn't like the implication that girls have vaginas. Okay, so the trans movement doesn't like the discussion of FGM, let alone even the opposition to FGM, because there's an implication that there's such a thing as a girl with a vagina. They don't like that. They don't like the concept of opposing female genital mutilation, because not all females have vaginas. Now, however that sinks into your head or into my head, something very, very wrong happened here. And so when we see the trans ideological movement doing this, we realize what it's really about. Now look, there are transgender people out there, and nobody is saying here at the Glazov Gang that there shouldn't be compassion and acceptance in individual cases. This is a whole other issue about loving people and being accepting and being compassionate. What I'm talking about is the transgender ideological movement. The trans movement is a totalitarian force. And there are many that argue and have pointed out that the trans ideological movement is ultimately, again, a totalitarian movement. It's a movement waging war. Of the trans ideological movement today, we see men saying that they are women. They're entering sports competitions, and they're defeating women in these sports competitions. They're pulverizing them in wrestling, and they're crushing their skulls in mixed martial arts fights. The left is getting what it wants. This is not a coincidence. It's all calculated. This is what the left wants, because ultimately the left is really about a war on women, because the left hates women. And so this whole trans ideological movement, it makes complete sense that men are becoming women and crushing their skull in MMA fights. It's just one example of what the left is trying to achieve, because it's a war on humanity, it's a war on men and on women. And in this particular case right now, it's a war on the safety of little girls, because the trans movement is trying to stop female genital mutilation. Now you have to ask yourself, overall, what's happening here? What's happening here is that the left is showing its true face. Read Penny Starr's article in Breitbart. It's titled "Activists Bill to Protect Minors from FGM is Anti-Transgender," and of quote, it's in Breitbart. And I explain in my book, She Had a Psychopath, what the left really is, why it's allied with Islam, and why, among other people and groups and individuals, why women suffer so terribly, including not just grown women, but tragically little girls. We'll see you on the next Jamie Glashoff moment. Good night.
Oh, you heard that one. It's happening. This is another great source of news. But there's more to come. Just in case the signal goes off on me, because it usually happens, make sure to go to my, let me see what I did here. Okay, now I'm back. I press one button and the thing goes haywire. Well, it's really my fault because I pressed the wrong one. If the signal goes off on me, remember always, everything that I'm going to talk about here or what I'm going to show here is going to be on my blog. You access my blog by going by my name, Eduardo Rodriguez. I pledge allegiance to the flag. The reason I put down that title is because, like I say, I was born in the United States. I'm an American citizen. I was in the armed forces, and I'm a patriot. I love my country. I love my president. I love what he's doing for this country. So that's why I put that title down. I pledge allegiance to the flag, and I always will. So let me go to the next news here. This is in Iraqi Kurdistan. Islamic Scholars Union says anyone who dies due to coronavirus, listen to this, is a martyr for Islamic Sharia. In other words, they're planning on using that as a type of weapon to murder Christians. These people have no right to be among us. They have to be separate. I'm not being a Nazi, I'm not being Islamophobe, I'm just being protective of my country and my people. They have to get the hell out of here. We have to get them out of here, period. They should not be among us. What are they doing here? Their only purpose is against everything against the United States. I don't care how moderate they are, they gotta leave, period. Get them out of here. Get them out before it's too late. In other countries that they're invading, like England, France, Sweden, all these other countries, I can't remember other ones, maybe Italy. There's another one, I'm trying to remember this other country that I think is near Turkey, Greece. I don't know if it's near, no, it can't be. Well, Greece. These people are trying to invade and they're trying to destroy it. And not only that, they're already imposing their will because they're imprisoning Christians in those countries. And what the hell, I don't know what the hell the people are thinking. They vote for leaders that are destroying and annihilating themselves. It's just, I can't understand it. And the Muslims enjoy it. They say, these people, how stupid they are. But let's take advantage of it, including here in the United States. And let's go to the next news. I hope there's hope. I always pray every day to God. Help us. This title, I put it down myself, besides the original title. Let them vote register and then deport all those on the list. That's what we should do. They want to vote, okay, register here. There's a list of all of them. Now deport them, call ICE here, deport all of them. They're doing everything in their power to destroy us, so they're trying to get people to vote, Islamic people to vote. And since the communists, who was supported by Bernie Sanders, and the whole Democrat party, who used to be the whole Democrat Party, is with them. So we got two enemies. We got the Democrat Party, who used to, we got the Communist Party, who used to be the Democrat Party, and we got this Islam. We got two enemies there trying to destroy us, doing everything possible. I'm going to go with more news. The signal doesn't go off on me, but it does. Go to my blog. It's going to be there about the de Blasio requesting that the government take over. Oh, guy's a communist. Go, don't listen to what I say. Just go to his past history, his biography, and there's news about him supporting communism. Okay, let's go to the next news. This is from the Religion of Peace. Video from Greece, Muslim migrant at the border demanding entry screams. Look what he screams. I want you dead. I'm telling you, these people, hey, what's happening in Greece? There's no weapons? You don't got any armaments? You don't got any machine guns? You don't got tanks? To stop this horde? With the help of Erdogan from Turkey. He's trying to destroy the Christian world. And he's doing by supporting these people who are invading Greece. Shoot. Attack them. They're attacking you. They're attacking your country. Shoot to kill. No mercy. Hey, you want to invade them? Pop, 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 pop. Clean them out. Annihilate it. Annihilate the problem. It'll stop. Look at Israel, how it stopped the terrorists from invading the country. They have no mercy on the terrorists. You try to invade, we'll annihilate you. And that's what they do. But you have to do the same thing, damn it. What the hell's the matter with you? What kind of government you got in Greece? That's stupid. Let's go to the video. Damn plague. That's what they are, a plague. Look at this. Look at this son of a bitch. Look at this. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Shoot him. Hey, place a machine gun at the border where they are and shoot. That's simple. You get rid of this filth. Look, I don't care if I get censored. Really, I have to express myself. These people, look, I was in the military. What the hell we do in the military? We are taught to kill those who want to hurt us. So what in that case in Greece, do the same thing. Place your army if you got one. I think you're gonna have one. Place a machine gun, well placed, mines, everything you can do is stop the sword. This guy says he wants to kill you, kill him. What the hell's the matter with you? It's like in the United States. We send our army over there somewhere, and we don't let our soldiers kill those who attack us. Oh, let's go to the next one. Illinois mayor issues coronavirus order allowing ban on gun sales. Now it's the fault of the guns. It's not the fault of the virus, it's the fault of the gun. There's a virus that's killing people, but it's the fault of the guns. The communists are in heat. The communists want to control they want to ban the Second Amendment. That's all it has to do. They look for an excuse. Coronavirus is killing, the guns are the culprit. Okay, let's go to the next one. It's the communists. That's all it is. They want power. They want to gain power permanently, just like they did in Venezuela and Cuba, North Korea and China. And then they want to destroy you and kill you by the millions and enslave you. But if you're that stupid, but I guess they are, because they're voting for people like that. Well, I guess they are. This is to Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders called for construction of emergency houses over coronavirus. I put down a title besides the original one. I said, hey, Bernie, give up your mansions, your salary, and give it to the victims. That's what you got to do. He's a communist. Give up all your wealth and give it to them. Show us an example that you're a real communist by giving up everything. But the guy's so slick that if you tell them, they say, oh, but you got more money than I do. So I guess an average person like me, who's the middle class, lower middle class, I can say it to him, to his face. Hey, why don't you give up you're a communist? Oh, there's another new one. People defending him say, no, Bernie's not a communist, he's a socialist. Even though the title of the ex-Soviet Union was, so clearly he is a communist. He is denying it. He's denying he's going to do what the communists have done. We're talking about their bloody history. But he's going to do the same thing. What happened, he hasn't gotten the power. That's why he's fighting so hard. You know, I guess if Trump wins again, we should get together, us conservatives, and sue the hospital that saved his life. Oh, wait a minute. Let's hear what this. I think there's a video here of this lunatic. No, I don't want to listen to him. He got nothing to teach me. I have nothing to learn from him. The only thing I have to see what's happening in Venezuela, Nicaragua, Cuba, and is that federal government realizes we're in a war and takes over. This communist. He wants to take over the government to take over, expropriate, annihilate the economy. Do like they did in Venezuela and Cuba and the ex-Soviet Union and North Korea. Take over and destroy everything, your constitution. Eliminate the constitution. That's what he's requesting. This guy is the devil himself. Let's see if there's a video here. Okay, the video is not available here. That's what it's telling me. There is a video, but it's not available. I guess the communists banned that one. Let's go to the next one. Oh my God, Joe Biden's new campaign manager has advocated for gun confiscation. Let me say it aloud, a little bit louder. Joe Biden's new campaign manager has advocated for gun confiscation. The communists, they're all communists. The Democrat Party is no longer what it used to be. It's no longer the party of Truman, Kennedy, Roosevelt. It's the Communist Party, completely communist. They want to take away your arms, your mode of defense. They want you dead. This is the manager, the campaign manager. Let me, so you can see her face. I want the whole world to see her face. There you go. That's the Pearl, requesting gun confiscation. I wonder if she is a woman or transsexual, because she looks too manly. Okay, let's go to the next news. Maybe she's frustrated for that. That's why she wants to destroy the whole country. Okay, the world has gone mad thanks to mainstream media hyperbolic reporting of the coronavirus. Okay, let's see, there's a video here. The world has gone mad thanks to mainstream media hyperbolic reporting of the coronavirus. I'm not saying it's not dangerous, but they made it seem like it's worse than what we're hearing. I think it's a video here. Okay, yes, it's a video.
I need you to remove your shoes. Never mind. Frank's outside. He'll want to talk. And your socks. Yeah, last time he got within like 100 yards of me. Made me very uncomfortable. Just take your pants off. Did you wash your hands? Wash them again. No, 5 times. You washed them 5 times. You see that? Okay? You see that right there? That's a bag I got at the grocery store. I took several of them. I want us all to wear bags around our feet. It's just cleaner that way. Bags, bag it up. It's not gonna cut it, okay? If she coughed, did you feel like it might have been a cough that touched you? Did you feel the cough? Sure. I don't know for sure. Let's get you in a bath. You know I love you, okay? If we run out of food. Guys, sunlight kills the virus. Everybody outside. Let's go. Everybody out. Okay, just clean everything. Just clean everything. For every 10 seconds, I want you to do a squirt of this, okay? Just a squirt, rub it in. Actually, let's just put this in a bath and you can just roll around it. Scrub it good. We're fine, okay? Everything is fine.
Yeah, that was kind of like a parody. Yeah, that's the way it is. It's going. If it has me panicking. Okay, let's go to the next news. That was kind of hilarious. Okay, let's go to the next one. No hair, no brains. This is the title I put down. Democrat Representative Presley calls for prison sentence commutations. Look at this. Here it is. The communists, these people are so terrible. They want criminals in the street. Calls for prison sentence commutations, clemency for some in wake of coronavirus epidemic. Just because that's how evil these people are. They're using the coronavirus to empty the prisons. Then I put down no hair, no brain, because she's completely bald. Let me put her. That's just a photo right there. There you can see. Okay, that's enough. Let's go to the next one. At least some good news here. Trump approval unchanged in coronavirus outbreak. New poll, let me read some of it. New poll by Wall Street Journal and NBC News finds that approval of President Trump remains unchanged since the start of coronavirus outbreak. Good. Thank God. Oh, there's not a video here. Let's go to the next one. I'm trying to do this a little bit quick without showing any photos because, okay, wait a minute. Something happened here that, okay. I got some videos here. Okay, let's hear the videos. The videos, I love them because they explain a lot. It's from Next News Network, which is a great source of news.
Lawmaker receives
One of the best.
unbelievable pushback for trying to ban drag queen readings to kids. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Francie in the Next News Network. Now, before I get to the story, folks, remember Next News is being heavily censored and taken out of suggested videos. So please, do us a favor. Make sure you still subscribe. You're getting your notifications. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please check out the newsletter in the description. We'd love. Now, let's get to your story here. According to Mary Margaret Holohan from the Daily Caller, a Missouri lawmaker said that he has never experienced such hatred and vitriol as he has faced after introducing a bill against drag queens reading to children in public libraries. Republican Missouri State Representative Ben Baker's bill, which seeks to ban drag queen story hour in public libraries, has been met with opposition from local librarians, the American Library Association, which are a bunch of total leftist wackos, Drag Queen Story Hour, which should be shut down by the federal government, defenders of the LGBTQ community, And more than 100 people gathered Saturday at a rally organized by, of course, drag queens to protest the bill at the Missouri Capitol in Jefferson City. Go and roll this clip.
Do you like reading comics?
Girl, yes. Do you like reading comics, though? What are your favorite comics?
A Smile and I like books of magic.
Before I show you this video and the events that transpired at this drag protest, I have to add a disclaimer. In no way is the video you're about to see anti-LGBTQ and meant to attack their community. This is merely a way to ask a valid question, which is, why are children...
Circus,
in a nun's habit with clown makeup.
a circus from hell.
The lawmaker wrote then on Twitter, "Here's the world that we live in today. Imagine that, trying to protect children from age-inappropriate content in our libraries, and in response, we get death threats. Well, it seems that we no longer live in a society where you can have civil discourse about ideas." You know what? I'm going to probably blow some things up right about now, but again, I don't poll test my responses or my wrap-ups. I say what I'm going to say, and that's it. Number one, people should go to Representative Ben Baker's campaign and give as much money as you possibly can to him. We need people like that reelected. So please shower him with extra money if you can to his campaign. We need more lawmakers like that. Second thing, this is pedophilia. That's what this is. This isn't drag queens. No, this is pedophilia. And what this is getting them young. Let's get these kids indoctrinated young to not know what sex they are. This is child endangerment. It is child abuse. These libraries should be fined. The police should come in and arrest these people for indecent exposure to children because half of them are barely even dressed. It is disgusting. It is demented. It is sick. It is satanic. It is vile. And I have no problem saying exactly that. And anyone that thinks different, well, let me know what your thoughts are. I think that this drag queen story hour is sick, twisted, and demented and should be outlawed. This should be outlawed. It is sick and twisted. And they don't just take it to just children. No. I did a report a few months back on drag queens that were Down syndrome victims, okay? Imagine that, exploiting the mentally challenged and putting them in drag when probably they don't even know it. They just think, oh, this person just likes me and wants to dress me up. No, exploiting these people. It is sick. It is twisted. You've got libraries handing out little stickers for little boys and girls that say drag queen in training. Yeah, on their shirts. These people are evil, and it needs to be stopped. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. Give us a like, give us a share. Continue to watch the Next News Network. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Frenchie. If you want to learn more about me,
Okay.
check out the Josh Bernstein Show on YouTube.
That's what they are. They're evil. It's like a circus from hell.
And download my channel
That's all you saw, a circus from hell.
on the next YouTube. Thank you for watching.
The Bible teaches us that someday Jesus is going to return to this earth. And sometimes, I pray, I hope it does. If I'm affected, if I'm annihilated, because I'm not perfect, I can't consider myself a loyal Christian because I'm not. But I believe in God. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to be saved. But if it comes to the point where I'd rather have him come to this earth and annihilate evil, okay, I hope it happens, because this evil has to be erased from the face of the earth. This, Islam, communism, fascism, it has to be eliminated. It's getting worse, and it's all due to the Democrats. The Democrats, which has been infiltrated and taken over by the communists. That's all it is. Oh, communists and Islamists. So it's getting worse. The devil is trying to He knows his end is near. So he's trying to take as many souls as he can. So it's time to pray, and it's time to seek God again, because we are walking away from God instead of walking towards Him. But that's what's happening. A lot of these people are just so demented and so evil and so twisted that they have denied God. Okay, let's go to this next video. Remember, if the video goes, the signal goes off on me, go to my blog. All these videos that you're going to see that are very interesting are going to be posted here. CNN Jack Tapper gets schooled by Surgeon General on White House. Listen to this one. This is pretty interesting.
Boom! CNN's Jake Tapper gets schooled by the Surgeon General of the White House on the virus response. I'm Josh Bernstein filling in for Gary Franchi in the Next News Network. Now, before I get to that story, folks, remember Next News being heavily censored and taken out of suggested videos. So please do us a favor. Make sure you're still subscribed. You're getting your notifications. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please check out the newsletter in the description below. Now let's get to your story here. According to Marty Walsh from Trending Politics Reports, many in the left-wing media have been purposely panicking the American people with, quote, updates on the coronavirus in an effort to make President Donald Trump look bad. CNN's Jake Tapper is no different, and he tried multiple times to embarrass the Trump administration on Sunday over their response to the coronavirus during Sunday's State of the Union, and he failed spectacularly. And the U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams schooled Tapper on his facts. Go ahead and roll this clip.
I want you to take a listen to something President Trump said on Friday when he visited the CDC. He was talking about whether or not to bring those infected Americans on a cruise ship off the California coast back into the United States.
They would like to have the people come off. I'd rather have the people.
And that was a shocking comment. I think a lot of health experts were stunned. Is the president's desire to artificially keep the numbers low by keeping Americans who are off the coast out of the United States? Is that desire impacting health decisions to help save these Americans who have coronavirus or who could possibly have it?
Well, I don't want to play politics here, but I do want to say I've been in the Situation Room every day. When the president comes in, he makes it clear that he wants the best advice from his health experts. As far as the cruise ships are concerned, our priorities are number one, making sure people who are on those cruise ships and who need medical attention can get it. And we've flown people off the ships. We've flown CDC teams into the ships to help. Number two, we want to get people off the ships as quickly and as safely as we can. And number three, we want to protect our communities. And that's a delicate balance that requires the cooperation of many different partners, Department of Defense, Coast Guard, and others. But again, we want to make sure we're taking care of those people on the ship in a way that protects them, but also protects communities.
I understand you don't want to get to politics, but can you assure the American people that decisions are not being made just because the president wants to keep the numbers low as opposed to helping Americans? I mean, that's what he said directly. He doesn't want to bring them in because the number will double. That's not a medical decision. That's a public relations decision.
Well, what I can say to you is based on my experience being on the task force for about a week and a half and being in that Situation Room every day, that the medical input is taken. Tony Fauci, Ambassador Birx, Bob Kadlec, myself, Ben Carson, you have multiple doctors in the room, and our voices are in no way, shape, or form suppressed. As a matter of fact, the vice president usually starts and ends by saying, doctors, is there anything that I need to hear that I'm not hearing?
Other doctors have also hammered the media doing nothing has worked against this president. Russia, Ukraine, impeachment, nothing. Because we've got a great economy, we've got great numbers, manufacturing, those magical jobs that would never come back are back. We've gotten out of the Paris Trade Accord, Paris Agreement, trade deals have been done, economy's doing great, stock markets, record-breaking numbers. Had a little downturn here in the last couple of days, but that's not an end-all be-all. We're not going into a recession, folks. We're going into a pandemic panic because of the Democrats. This has all been controlled. This has all been facilitated. I would have no doubt that Democratic leaders were in concert and talking to the Chinese, saying, go ahead and, create this virus. Don't make it too bad to where it kills millions of people, but just make it bad enough so that it hurts some people, so that we can run with this false narrative that this thing is going to end civilization as we know it. We can panic the American people. They'll stop buying things. They'll stop going out. They'll start hoarding toilet paper and all this other stuff. We'll take the economy. We'll get people to stop going to his rallies, and boom, boom, boom. That's what this whole thing is about. The only pandemic that could hit America in the future is if, God forbid, one of these psychopaths wins the White House through voter fraud and stealing the election. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. Give us a like, give us a share. Continue to watch the Next News Network. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Franchi. If you want to learn more about me, check out the Josh Bernstein Show on YouTube, and now also streaming on
Go to the next one.
TV. And we'll see you. on
The
next
signal
one.
just went off for a couple of seconds. Like I say, if it goes off, go to my blog.
We all need to be
It's all
prepared.
there.
In an emergency, solar powered technology.
And don't miss the videos because they're very interesting. I try to put down the best. Let's see what's happening here. There's more videos. Okay, let's see this. This one is, they're all great. I'm trying to put them all down because they're very interesting. Like I said, I try to put down the best. The best and the shortest, which goes to the
Tom
point.
Cotton's PAC launches a must-see ad smashing Joe Biden's past support for China. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary French in the Next News Network. Now, before I get to that story, folks, remember Next News is being heavily censored and taken out of suggested videos. So please do us a favor. Make sure you're still subscribed. You're getting your notifications. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please check out the newsletter in the description below. Now, let's get to your story here. According to Hank Berry from the Daily Wire, a political action committee associated with Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas has launched a new attack ad in Ohio and other swing states across the nation, attacking former Vice President Corn Pop Joe Biden for being, quote, weak on China. Cotton, a veteran of the war in Iraq, is determined to help GOP candidates who are veterans succeed in their quest for elective office, as the Federalist has noted. Go and roll this clip.
They run concentration camps. They force the abortion of millions of babies. They brutally crack down on protesters.
There you go, Communist China.
They have stolen millions of our jobs. China is the greatest threat to America's security and our values. Career politician Joe Biden.
That's the fastest country.
China is going to eat our lunch. Come on, man. They're not bad folks. But guess what? They're not a competition.
Communist Joe.
When Joe Biden was vice president, his son got a sweetheart $1.5 billion deal from the Bank of China. When Joe Biden was senator, he voted to give China special trade status that devastated American workers. Biden is weak on China and wrong for America. We need to stand up to China and protect American jobs and our national security. Senator Cotton is standing with President Trump to take on China and keep America great. I'm Tom Cotton, and I approve this message.
The Federalist noted Cotton's Biden attack ad airing in Ohio might play to Sanders' benefit in the state's primaries next week, as Sanders has targeted Biden on the trade. Well, look, I hope that Bernie Sanders starts winning some of these primaries. Honestly, I hope he ends up catching him in the delegate count. I want to see it neck and neck. I want them to both have, 900 to 1,000 or 1,100 each. You know why? Because then there's not enough for them to go on to the convention with a clear-cut winner. Then what happens? You have the Bernie bros that'll go to the convention, cause all kinds of havoc and violence. It'll be all over the television. Everyone will be able to see it. They'll have a contested convention. They'll throw somebody in, like Bloomberg or somebody else that's not even running, and the whole thing will be an absolute S show. And guess what? It'll help President Trump. Because right now, with the coronavirus, we've lost trillions of dollars from the market because of this, scare tactics of the liberal media. I mean, that's basically what this has been. Let's scare the living daylights out of the American people so that they go and they raid all the stores so there's no supplies left, so that they cancel all kinds of events. They don't go to restaurants. They don't go outside. They don't buy things. They don't leave the house, right? And they crash the economy. That's exactly what's happening. And if you think the jobs numbers and the next report is going to come back, not affected, you're crazy. The economy is completely tanked. We've lost trillions of dollars. Why? Because of the Democrats, because of China, and more importantly, because of the irresponsibility and vicious behavior of the left-wing media. Because they saw this as an opportunity. We can get Trump, we can destroy the economy, we can stop his rallies. They even admitted it, right? Jackie Spire admitted it. We need to stop the rallies, and that's exactly what's happened. But you know what? The warmer weather is coming, and as the warmer weather comes, the virus is going to. I'm going to be working with a couple of organizations that are going to be doing really, really hardcore ads against whoever the nominee is, or just anti-Democrats in general. So we're going to fight back. We're not going to sit back and take it. They couldn't get us with impeachment. They couldn't get us with Ukraine. They couldn't get us with networking. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Franchi. If you want to learn more about me, check out the Josh Bernstein Show on YouTube, and now also streaming on Roku TV.
Let's go to the next one. The signal just went off a couple of seconds ago. And I want to go to the next one, which is very important. But like I say, if it goes off on me, go to my blog. It's going to be right there. This is about Hillary Clinton. So she was subpoenaed by State Department of a newly. Well, listen to because it just cut off right here, part of it. Let's go to the video. The video will explain everything about what's happening to Hillary, which I hope someday we can see her in handcuffs. That's my dream.
The deposition of Hillary Clinton in a Judicial Watch lawsuit. Former Secretary of State will have to answer questions under oath about her emails and Benghazi attack documents.
I can't wait to see her someday in prison. That'll be my day. It'll make my day.
The State Department has thus failed to persuade the court that all of Secretary Clinton's recoverable emails have been located. This is unacceptable. Joining us tonight, Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch. And Tom, congratulations on this ruling, and your thoughts about where this goes now. This is not the first time that a judge has said proceed. It is striking that it's in a D.C.
As a result of discovery. In this case, this is the case, by the way, that broke open the Clinton email scandal way back in 2015. It's about the Benghazi talking points. And, the judge wants to know what was Hillary Clinton thinking when she was using this system as it relates to the Freedom of Information Act. He wants to know about whether there are document issues related to Benghazi. And her top aide, Cheryl Mills, also has the key question. We also authorized us to subpoena Google because there's this issue about whether one of her email aides or vendors had sent all of her emails to a Google account. So this is a broadening inquiry. It's limited in scope. We can't get to ask every question under the sun we might want to. But it's remarkable that A, the Justice Department, State Department opposed this.
The State Department and the Justice Department.
Yeah, they were all in there yelling about it. Yeah. Every effort we made to get more answers they opposed.
On what grounds, if I may inquire? I mean, I hate to see stunned, but to see this Justice Department again trying to shut down an inquiry into a matter that is far from settled, and certainly in the view of the public, it is remarkable.
Well, they suggested the extraordinary circumstances necessary for discovery and questioning witnesses under oath hadn't been met by the Clinton email scandal. They didn't think it was serious enough. They thought all the questions had been answered, and obviously